Okay, Eden Hazard is not going to be a game changer at Real Madrid for some simple reasons. First of all, he is not the best player at Real Madrid right now. Gareth Bale is, and I'll explain in this video. He was purchased under the premise that Gareth Bale would be moved on so that he could become the talisman for Real Madrid, even though I did not believe that he has what it takes to actually become Real Madrid's talisman. Real Madrid is fresh out of an era of Galacticos, and Eden Hazard is anything but a Galactico. Yes, he is a very good player, but he's in the second or third tier of players in terms of rankings or in terms of status. He's not up there at the top. Why Zidane bought him is actually a mystery for me, and I think Zidane is going to pay for it. I've been saying to people for a long time that Zidane did not make a good decision in coming back to Real Madrid, and it's not going to work out for him. People might actually think that at this point in the season it's just jitters and he's going to recover, but looking at his lineups and his tactics, I can safely say from now that this is not going to be a very good season from Zidane. I will actually highlight in another episode later on as to how Zidane won the Champions League 3 times using the same tactics, and how I'm actually shocked why other coaches let him do that. So if you want to hear about that, just subscribe to the channel and click on the notification button so that you can catch the video when it comes out. So let's start by talking about Eden Hazard and exactly why he's not the best at Real Madrid. When we talk about a player that's going to carry a team throughout the season, we're talking about the likes of Messi and Ronaldo, who possess a certain suite of abilities that help them do just that. Now let us take a look at Eden Hazard and probably compare him to the player that's better than him, Gareth Bale. Eden Hazard has now gone to Real Madrid, which is a team that is full of people who believe in themselves. So Hazard is not going to be getting the attention and service that he was getting at Chelsea. If you actually look at Chelsea, most of the possession was actually centered around Eden Hazard, unlike at teams like Manchester United where the possession centered around Pogba. So as you can see, there's the trend where the main player, the main protagonist is the player to which everybody else looks, and it results in him having the most possession. He's not going to get this at Real Madrid. This is going to make it very hard for him to assert his influence, as he's also going to have to fight for possession like everybody else. I can argue that players such as Modric can also have as much of an influence as him, and I probably will see a situation where they're not being played together in the same squad. Now, if you also look at Chelsea, who was used to playing in the 4-3-3 formation, at Real Madrid the formations change very much. Like if you notice this season, Zidane has already deployed the 4-4-2, the 4-1-4-1, and the 4-3-3 formation. So you will not find Hazard playing every match this season, and this will definitely reduce influence and lead to him not actually carrying the team. Now, what does carrying a team mean? Like I explained in yesterday's episode where I talked about how Pogba can do this, you have to have a certain party trick that you come with that can help you actually get the job done. Let's look at Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale is immense speed and power in human form, and he can do different things that can actually win a game that is probably deadlocked by a team probably parking the bus or something. Gareth Bale can come through and sprints much faster than Hazard. He's more powerful when he goes forward and can force his way through, unlike Hazard. He can shoot from range to score goals. If you remember, even the Caesar kick, overhead kick that he hit in the final against Liverpool, he single-handedly took that Champions League for Real Madrid when it seemed like they were in a bit of a spot. Gareth Bale can also hit long-range free kicks, short-range free kicks. He's also mighty in the air. He can cross the ball. He can shoot. You see, these are party tricks. With Gareth Bale, it doesn't matter who you are or what formation you carry. I think you get the idea that I'm saying. He can force his way in every situation. Now, Hazard, because of his stature and the way that he plays his game, is not exactly able to do that. Messi, yes, has got the same stature as Hazard, but he's two-footed and is blessed with a whole lot of flair, dribbling ability, and intelligence on the ball. Hazard is a one-dimensional player who is an inverted winger. The inverted wingers I've been complaining about at Manchester United, you know, the likes of Daniel James and Martial, but we'll talk about that later. Hazard is an inverted winger who can only do so much on the ball in terms of variation, so he's predictable, unlike people like Gareth Bale who can come at you from any angle, from the left, from the right, and from the top if necessary. Hazard will always cut in, and players will always know that, coaches will always know that, and they'll be able to plan for that. Yes, he's got one or two variations, but they're not enough to break the deadlock in a tight match, probably in a final or a semi-final. Hazard is also good with the free kicks, but they're more like finesse free kicks, precise free kicks like Juan Mata, and a lot of goalkeepers can save that. He can't hit a thunderbolt. Now, also looking at the range from which he operates, Hazard operates in a small area. You don't find Hazard all over the pitch like Gareth Bale, because he doesn't have the power and the physical presence and ability to do so. So this will always make it easy for opposition coaches to plan for him and keep him contained. If you notice at Manchester United, Jose Mourinho did very good jobs on Eden Hazard using under Herrera and the likes. Now, Hazard is not really perfect in the air. If he's going to come up against a team which is good in the air, he's not going to give you anything from there. More importantly, especially his shot power limits the ability of Hazard to hurt you from distance. Gareth Bale, like I said, can shoot from far. Even Asensio, someone who is going to be competing also for that position, can shoot from far. And the fact that he can shoot from far means he can actually be influential against a team which is parking the bus, or in a situation where your tactics have failed, Gareth Bale can actually just come in and shoot. Hazard takes most, and I mean 95% to 98% of all his shots on target come from within the box. So if you actually park the bus, Hazard is done. You can't find a way through. These are some of the limits that you find from the man. Also, physically, he's not an imposing person, so he's not going to be able to bowl his way or to bulldoze his way through defenses like the likes of Lukaku can do. So as you can already see, Hazard is a good signing for Real Madrid, but the way that they're hyping him up to be a game changer, he's not going to be that. He's not going to be able to carry the team. What most people do not know about Hazard is he's also a second half player. He's not a player that performs much during the first half, and we're talking about his performances in a Chelsea team that he had been used to, that he had played for many years. Hazard only gives you the second half most of the time. Why he does that, I don't know, but this is really going to impact him at Real Madrid, as fans, they are not very friendly. His slow starts to games, coupled with the fact that he's going to be playing in a wide variety of formations and having less game time and less position, are going to make fans grow wary of Hazard very quickly. So these are key points to look at. He's a second half player, so you're going to be getting half the action most of the time, and this is going to make people wary of him, and probably you can actually find a situation where Hazard is going to be booed. Do you think that at any point in time Hazard is going to be booed by the fans? Let me know in the comments section below. I think it's a very high possibility looking at what he's bringing to the table. Getting back to the issue of possession, which is going to be critical, like I said, Hazard thrives on possession to actually exert his influence. In addition to Real Madrid players probably not giving him the respect he got at Chelsea and looking for him with every ball, Real Madrid players, the forwards, are also not as comfortable in possession as players at Chelsea were. If you look at who he was playing with at Chelsea, there was the likes of Giroud and Pedro. In the middle, there was Kovacic and Jorginho. These are players who are very comfortable in possession, and they aided his control of the possession by, retrieving the ball and controlling it well, fending off players and giving them to Hazard. Now, if you look at the people that Hazard is going to be playing with, especially in the 4-1-4-1 or in the 4-3-3 at Real Madrid, they're not very good at maintaining possession, much like the players at Manchester United. This is probably another reason why Real Madrid is suffering. I'm going to also look at this in more detail. If you look at Benzema, if you look at the likes of Isco is comfortable with possession, but if you look at Benzema, Vinicius Jr., if you look at Rodrigo, Bale is also a bit good in position, but is more of a touch and goal player. Toni Kroos, yes, and Casemiro here and there, but not very much. Real Madrid does not have players which are actually as comfortable on the ball as Eden Hazard, so he's actually going to have a harder time controlling possession, controlling games, and as a result his influence is going to be diminished. The fact that Eden Hazard cannot cross the ball from the touchline will mean that he will offer a limited route to goal. so you actually find him being substituted quite a lot in matches, and this will actually limit his game time, limit his influence on matches. One thing that is good about him as well maybe is the fact that he's able to dribble. How much he'll be able to dribble in Spain is yet to be seen, but like I said, it's one-dimensional, so we'll see how much he actually adapts his game to Spain. But he can offer penetration when teams are sitting down, but if teams actually manage to sit back and close off the gaps, then you'll need someone like Bale to come and steam through. One thing now that is bad about Eden Hazard is he's going to not probably play a very big part in Classicos, and this will do a lot to diminish his brand or his stock in the face of Real Madrid fans. Why am I saying this? Barcelona starts their game from the back, and it needs forwards who can actually press to give Real Madrid a chance against Barcelona. Real Hazard is actually not good at pressing, not very good at marking, and you've seen by how he's always dribbled by defensive players as they pass through him and go forward to attack whatever team he's playing with. So in the Classicos, Hazard is not going to be quite a big player. Messi is going to overshadow him, and this, coupled with probably the troubles that he'll face from other matches as he is a slow starter, are going to make life quite difficult for him. So that was my quick look at Eden Hazard. The main talking points are that he is a good addition to the Madrid squad, but he's not going to be the game changer. He's not going to be the man Real Madrid look to, and it's going to look like a very bad signing from Zinedine Zidane, considering the amount of impact or the amount of pressure that he put for this signing. Maybe Zidane was actually hoping to overshadow the signing of Hazard with the signing of Pogba, which would have definitely been more expensive. Now people are going to look at Hazard as his marquee signing and expect him to perform as such, which is not going to happen. Again, in summary, he is a small player. He cannot force his way into games. He's a one-dimensional inverted winger who's going to become predictable. He offers a one route to goal, which is through cutting in. He cannot cross from the touch line. Yes, he's good at dribbling, but he can also not shoot from far, so that will make his chances at goal limited, as he actually has to penetrate the opposition to actually create something. He's not good in the air, and his shot power is not that strong. His play, like I said, is not very expansive. He plays in a very small area and thus can be controlled. So these are some of the reasons why Hazard is not going to turn Real Madrid around by himself, and these are one of the reasons Zidane is going to get into trouble, because he pushed through this move. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think I'm off track? I've had a chance of actually looking at him before he plays quite a lot of games. He started with an injury. I hope this will not become a trend, as this will actually stop us from analyzing his play a lot. But that's my take on the matter. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this opinion. Do you think Real Madrid will get the impact that they need from Hazard? Do you think he'll carry them through in matches that they're stuck like they did at Chelsea? Do you think the other players at Madrid were given the same amount of respect that he was getting at Chelsea? I doubt all that will happen, and this is one of the reasons basically Zidane is going to fail. I think he should be happy that Bale did not move, that he stood his ground, because Bale is probably, if he keeps fit or if he stays fit, probably going to be the player that might save something for Madrid this season. And Zinedine Zidane, I'm going to be following Zidane and documenting how he's going to fail at Real Madrid. Yes, I just said it. He's going to fail at Real Madrid. Just subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell to find out how I think he's going to fail, and the results, I'm sure soon enough, will show you exactly what I mean. He made a bad mistake in coming back to Real Madrid. So this is it for Hazard. I'm going to be touching on the other transfer targets and seeing actually exactly what they're going to contribute. As the mark, I'm going to give Hazard transfer rating a 6 out of 10. The last transfer rating I gave was for Daniel James, which is a 5 out of 10. You can also actually find out why I rated him that. I know it might be a bit surprising. You might want to find out my reasoning behind that, but it will come out as we go on. That is actually a 5 out of 10 rating in terms of a transfer. The Hazard is a 6 out of 10, and I've given my reasons, and we're going to be tracking those. So thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel and follow for more interesting insights. Cheers.